Today on the AWC podcast, we're talking about what are you worth from the February issue of the American Window Cleaner magazine. Thanks for spending some time with me today. As you know, the AWC podcast highlights a different article straight from the American Window Cleaner magazine. And if you aren't getting your monthly magazine mailed to your door, just go to awcmag.com/sub and get yours now. Every issue has loads of articles, reviews, pictures, and of course, the world-famous sticker sheet. Make sure to get yours. If you haven't gotten it yet, what are you waiting for? Go to awcmag.com and get your subscription now. It's paper. It's in your hand. It's awesome. I love paper subscriptions. But awesome. So today we are talking about What Are You Worth, which is an article out of, like I said, the February issue of American Window Cleaner magazine. And this issue is all about stepping over dollars to make pennies. It's all about what is your time worth? What are you worth? Now, there's a lot of talk out there about how much should you make when you do window cleaning. There's a lot of talk about how much you should charge per hour and everything like that, but there isn't a lot of talk about worth. Now, there is a big difference between worth and what you charge, because what you're worth is covering everything. That's covering your HR. It's covering your taxes. It's covering your sales. Everything you do, you are paying yourself something to do it, right? So even if you have guys out there in the field or girls, you are still doing everything else. The office, you're doing your HR, you're doing everything. But there's something to be said for what you're worth. Now, in the article itself is all talking mainly about different things you can do or different things that you do in your day that actually pay you more. Now, if you're out there cleaning windows, that's the least amount that you can get paid, right? Because we can hire somebody to do that really pretty cheap. So if you're in the field still, but thinking that you may want to get out of the field, awesome. Think about it this way. If you are paying somebody, we'll say, just for even numbers. Now, these numbers are false, and I know you're paying a lot more than this, but say you're paying $10 an hour. Heck, we'll say $20 an hour. Just for even numbers, you're paying $20 an hour. The rest of the money you're going to make, okay? So say you are bringing in $100 an hour, $75, whatever it is. Say you're bringing in $100 an hour, but you're paying out $20 an hour. You're making $80 an hour, okay? That's for when somebody else is making the work. But if you are cleaning the window, you're only making $20 an hour to do that. You say, no, I'm making $100 an hour. No. You're not. Because you're making the $80 regardless if you do the work or somebody else does the work. Now you're doing something that's paying you $20 an hour. That's what this is all about. When you're doing different tasks, they pay different amounts. When you're doing your own taxes, you're saving all of those hundreds of dollars that you'd spend. Now, say it takes you 40 hours a year to do tax stuff. It takes you 40 hours to do tax stuff. If it takes you 40 hours to do it, because you don't know really what you're doing, but a tax person would do it for, say, $400, what are you making per hour to do that? You're making $10 an hour to do your taxes. You're making $10 an hour to do your taxes, and you're probably not doing them right, so you're losing more money on top of that. So now take that, if an accountant did it, they would find different deductions and things that you wouldn't find. So say that saves you another, we'll say $100. We'll say $200. It could be way more than that. I've had accountants save me thousands and thousands of dollars. The last time we changed going into an S Corp, it saved me about $6,800 by switching that over. I pay my accountant nothing compared to $6,800, right? But just for hypothetical, say they bring you in, they would have saved you $400 if you had them do it. But you did it and saved that money. You're doing that for $0. You're paying yourself $0. Here's the crazy thing. If you start doing your taxes, or whatever the service is, and say your accountant could save you $401 by having a professional do it, you've actually lost $1 by doing it yourself. And this is what we're talking about. When you do services, different things in your company that somebody else can do for a lot less, you're only saving or paying yourself that small amount. Let's talk about answering services for just a quick second. If you're doing the answering of the phones yourself, you're spending maybe potentially hours on the phone a day. An answering service, who could get all that information for you, answer the call, the infamous Google, hey, get on the first page of Google, press 7 now, right? They take care of all that. Now, you're not wasting time, but you're paying them $1.50 a minute. You're paying them $2 a minute, whatever it is. It saves you from doing that. Here's the other side of this. When you know your worth, what you are worth, now there's some fun numbers you can really get into. Okay? When you are doing, say, sales, potentially you can sell hundreds of dollars worth of work. That could be done, we'll say, for the next 10 plus years. I mean, I know you guys, if you've been on the business for a long time, I've had customers out there for 12, 13 years, solid. So now I sell a job. I sell a $200 job, $200 a month, a restaurant, because I was out there selling. I sold a whole month for this. Oh man, you made $200 a month. No, I sold $24,000 worth of new work over the next 10 years. $24,000 worth of work that potentially could have taken me an hour to do. It could have taken me an hour to do. And I just brought the company $24,000. Now, these are just general numbers, and I know you're not landing a bunch of $200 restaurants. Maybe you are. That's awesome. Maybe you're doing less. Maybe you're doing more. But where is your time most valuable? Where are you worth? In all these years, you've been stepping over dollars to make pennies. You've been taking your time and saying, hey, man, I'm going to save $500 without really looking that you have to pay yourself divided by the hours of time. When we get paid, we don't have a product, right? You don't pay me for a product. You pay me for an experience, maybe, but what you're really paying for is the knowledge. You're paying for the expertise of the company. If you know your company better than anybody out there, which I hope you do, why are you not out there selling or doing the things that pay the most amount of money? Hypothetically, if you sold one new route job a day for an entire week, you'd have Monday through Friday. You worked the whole time. Say you only sold 5 route jobs. They're 5 weekly route jobs. 5 weekly route jobs. That's not terrible, If you were out there every single day and you sold jobs, now some of you have sales people, I understand that. But this is just to kind of give an example. If you're out there and you could, in a day, sell, we'll say, $50. $50 worth of new work every single day. $50. A $50 job. It's not bad, right? Easy. You're thinking in your head, that's easy, $50 job. Maybe it's 2 $25 jobs, whatever. So hypothetically, say as a weekly accounts. You just sold, in 1 week, $13,000 in new work for the year. $13,000 for the year. You've sold $130,000 worth of work over 10 years. How much is that worth? I would 100% rather see somebody, instead of trying to answer their own phones or doing all of the hiring themselves or doing all of the recruiting themselves or all these things that these services are out there. I would rather see you out there selling. You know your business better than anybody. You're the most sold yourself on your business. There are other things that you can do that are going to be so much more valuable than out there just, say you're out there cleaning windows. What if instead of cleaning windows, which you're only making $20 an hour, what if you went out and you sold to build your company? What if you could sell that one job, get yourself out of the field, sell one job every day, or totaling $50 a day of 8 hours of selling? I think that's possible. You know you're going to sell more than that. That's $130,000 worth of new work every year. $130,000 worth of revenue you bring into your company by selling. Now, if you do more than that, say you're really good at selling. Maybe you've read books and you've learned the science behind it. You can go out there and sell more than that. Say you did that same amount every single week. Say you could just religiously sell $50 a day in new work. Again, not always possible, right? But say that you did $50 a day. You could sell in new work, $50 a day. And you did that every single day. $50 of weekly work is $2,600 a year. One job, $2,600 a year. One job, one day of selling will bring you $2,600 of new work. Now, say you pair that on and you pair that on and you pair that on, you see where this is going. If you're out there cleaning windows, you're not bringing yourself $2,600 worth of work. If you're out there trying to do everything to save $1, you're not bringing yourself that worth. You're taking the most valuable asset your company has, which is you, and you're wasting it on other things. You're wasting it on trying to be an accountant, or trying to do payroll, or trying to do your recruiting, or trying to do follow-up, or any of these things that you can find programs to do. There's so many things out there that for, $100 a month, you could have a recruiting company. Maybe for $100 a month, you could have somebody answering your phone so that every call is answered and you're not worried about the Google calls and every other spam call. All of these things add up to successful businesses, and it's taking the most valuable player in your company, which is you, and putting them where they make the most amount of money. Remember, your time is what you're selling, and there's only so much of it. So find out and understand where your time is most valuable, where you make the most amount of money, and focus on that. Don't worry about having micromanaging, getting stuff out there and having companies do this. If it takes it off your plate, it frees you up to go make big money. And that's how companies become successful. It's just like that. So thanks again for hanging out with us today. If you haven't gotten your subscription yet to the American Window Cleaner magazine, please do. It is absolutely amazing. It is the best magazine that has ever come out, according to my mom. So go out there and buy the magazine subscription. awcmag.com. There is also swag on there if you want shirts, stickers, back issues, whatever you want. Go to awcmag.com and order up. The world is your oyster. But thanks again for listening. We'll talk to you soon.